I'm back. Sorry, my kid called me from upstairs. I give up. Anyway, so the abbey represents safety, or rather, really like the illusion of safety that wealth and privilege gives. And then you have the revelers, the partiers, all of Prospero's friends. They kind of represent humanity as a whole, or really like the upper class, the privileged class. And then you have the ebony clock, which represents time and the passage of time. When you put all the pieces together of this story, they form an allegory which gives a secondary meaning beyond the literal meaning of the story. And the symbolism continues. So we have Prince Prospero, who goes into this abbey with his friends, and walls him and them up to escape and kind of wait out the Black Death, or sorry, the Red Death. And they party. They have this big ball where everybody's dressed in these crazy costumes and they dance and there's food and there's drink. But the only thing that interrupts them is that every time that ebony clock chimes the hour, they all kind of stop. The musicians stop playing, the dancers stop dancing, and they all get really uncomfortable for like a minute. And then they go back to what they were doing. But that stopping represents the idea of their acknowledgement of the passage of time and how they only have so much time left. The next issue is how this suite of rooms is set up. So I don't know if I hold this up, is it showing it to you like the right way? I don't think so. Okay. Well, anyway, like I said, I'll verbally talk about these notes and then I'll post them. But so anyway, Prospero's Abbey has this suite of rooms. It's called an imperial suite, and it runs from east to west, like the sun, right? Like the passage of the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Usually this part you can see. This is what an imperial suite looks like. Like if you view it from the top, right? It's this like progression of rooms, and they're all joined together by a one straight hallway. So if someone were to stand at the front of, or the top, like the beginning, whatever, of this imperial suite, and all the doors were open, they could see all the way down to the end, clearly, clear path. Okay, that's your typical imperial suite. Like if you ever went to go visit like a castle in Europe, that you would see suites like that. Prospero's suite is not like that. Prospero's suite, the rooms of his suite are linked by these twisty-turny hallways. The quote from the story is, "The apartments were so irregularly disposed that the vision embraced but little more than one at a time." So the partiers can really only see the room that they're in. So back to my little diagram here. So like if this is a usual imperial suite, this is Prospero's, starting with the blue room over here, and then it's connected by these like twisty turny hallways. So if someone's standing in the blue room, they can only see up to the hallway, right? They can't see into the purple room. And if they're in the purple room, they can't see into the green room. They can only see to the end of that hallway, and so on and so forth. That's symbolic too, okay? So the arrangement of the rooms from east to west represents, again, that passage of time, right? Like the sun moving from rising to setting, the passage of a day. Sorry, my kid just texted me. I flicked it away. And also, right, in the traditional imperial suite, you can see from the beginning all the way through to the end. But in Prospero's suite, you can't. The people can only see the room that they're in, like life, right? You never know what's coming. You don't know the future. You don't know what's going to happen in a week from now. And that's the way Prospero's suite is set up. Now, the colors of the rooms. The colors all have different meanings, and I'll post these notes so you can look at them. But you have blue. And the suites go from blue to purple to green to orange to white to violet to black. And each of those colors could be seen as representing a different stage of life. Like blue typically is associated with innocence and newness. So like that's the beginning, that's birth. Purple and green are both associated with growth and prosperity. So you have like the idea of growing up and becoming like a prosperous, successful adult. Orange, which represents vitality and energy. So you have someone at like the height of their energy and the height of their life. White is usually calm and serenity. So you have that idea of someone like kind of aging gracefully. Violet represents wisdom and knowledge. So you have that idea of age bringing wisdom. And then black is death, the end of life. And then red, right? That last room is black and red. So that represents, death, morbidity, finality, blood, maybe violence. And that's the room where Prospero finally catches up with that mummer, with that death-like figure. And it's also the room where the ebony clock sits, right? And it's the end of the imperial suite. It's the end of life. Now, the fact that Poe calls this the Red Death, you know, I think that, I don't have the story in front of me, but like he says, its avatar is blood. Like that's how you knew you had the Red Death. You started expelling blood. And in Poe's time, tuberculosis was a pretty common illness for people to catch and die from. It was a respiratory illness that kind of turned your lungs to mush, and lots of people died from it, including Poe's wife. So he brought that part of his personal life into the Mask of the Red Death. Anyway, all this being said, what I would like you guys to do for me is to figure out what Poe's message is. So I kind of laid out the allegory for you. I laid out anyway what each piece of the allegory stands for. What I'd like you guys to do is to explain the message, right? The secondary message. The message of the story is not that Prospero can't escape the hooded figure, because that's the very surface meaning of it. What I want you to do is kind of take a look at all these notes again and think a little bit abstractly about it. And I want you to think about what Poe's kind of moral to the story could be when you look at the allegorical parts of it, when you look at it as a symbolic story. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to have you guys do that for me. I'm going to have you just open a doc and type up your response and post it to Classroom. Anything else? The quarterly projects. If you are doing the children's book or the illustrations project, that's kind of where I'm like, oh, I don't know how to handle it. I feel like having you guys take pictures of your actual projects and uploading the pictures to Classroom, oh, might be a giant pain in the butt. I don't know. Unless, how about this? How about if I had you guys take pictures and then you uploaded them into a Google Doc or a Google Slides presentation? Do you think that would work? I don't know. I think that might be the easiest way. That way you can just then submit the pictures to, or if you wanted to, all right, let's do this. That's option one. Take pictures of each page of your children's book or the illustrations and upload each picture into a separate page of like a Google Doc. So you'll post a Google Doc that's however many pages your children's book was, but each page of the Google Doc will just be a picture of that page of the book. Does that make sense? So that's option one. Option two, if you would like, is you can take a video of yourself reading the book and showing me the pictures and then post the video to Classroom. Does that work? I think that might be like kind of the best way to go. If you have oh, I'm sorry. Good Lord. If you have, like I said, if you did the soundtrack project, that's an easy one. That you could just post to Classroom. But I think that's how I'm going to handle the children's book. Take pictures and put them into a Google, either Slides presentation or Google Doc, or take a video of yourself reading the book to me. I think that'll work. Anyway, so I hope everybody's okay. I hope everybody's feeling well. I hope all your families are healthy. I hope you're not too bored. I hope you're getting outside a little bit every day. Still don't know how long we'll be out for. I mean, at least not officially. I guess we're out until the governor says we can go back in, and he's just not saying yet. So, I don't know. This is weird. Anyway, that's it. I miss y'all, and I hope that, you're all doing well. Oh, wait a minute. The Mask of the Red Death thing. I'm going to post this video on tonight, so Wednesday night. God, it's only Wednesday. Yeah, I'm going to post this video Wednesday night. You do not have to do a write-up on the Mask of the Red Death until like over the weekend, okay? The write-up on the Mask of the Red Death will be due on Monday or Tuesday if this is 8th period, right? Because you won't check in with me on Monday. Okay, that's it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.